Donald Trump is threatening to impose fresh tariffs on Chinese goods, intensifying pressure on trade talks. Haley Wooden with Business in Vancouver is joining us now with more on this story. And Haley, I understand that this is already impacting markets.
It has. When this news broke that the U.S. might impose 10% tariffs on another $300 billion worth of Chinese goods, we saw the price of oil take a jump downward. We saw impact in U.S. as well as Asian markets. A lot of concern about what this means for U.S.-China relations and trade tensions between both countries. We've since heard from China. They've retaliated. They've said they're not going to cave into what they really see as blackmail on the part of the U.S., and they've also promised to be ready with countermeasures of their own. Now, the U.S. has promised to impose these tariffs on September 1st if some kind of meaningful trade deal can't be arranged. The world is going to be watching to see what both countries might be able to do in the month ahead to try and stave off more tariffs.
All right, and I understand we're also getting a better understanding of how tariffs are affecting the Canadian economy.
That's right. Stats Canada has looked at what steel and aluminum tariffs from Canada and the U.S. have meant for our economy here. As you can imagine, when these announcements was first made, imports rose, but once they were imposed, we saw imports take a jump down. Looking at steel imports from Canada and the U.S., both fell by around 40% in that first month after tariffs were imposed. Another way to look at this is how much both countries collected in tariffs during this time. The U.S. collected on average more than $200 million in tariffs on Canadian products. That's 8 to 9 times what it would normally collect per month from Canadian goods. In Canada, we collected around $190 million per month on average on U.S. products. That's about 4 times more than what we would normally expect to collect. So a lot of impact, and of course, a lot of those costs borne by businesses on both sides of the border.
Definitely. Haley Wooden with Business in Vancouver joining us with those stories today. Thanks very much, Haley.
Thanks, Sonia.